Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of Who's That Anime, where Steve is browning it.
Oh, I am. It's
Deal,
difficult with headphones on.
I don't want to knock them off, eh? Yeah, we're back for yet another episode talking about Paranoia Agent. Yep.
Oh, that made me dizzy. Hang on.
He's getting
All
old.
right, okay. We're good. I am so old.
So old.
Go on.
Yeah.
You're saying?
We're on Paranoia Agent. Where we're going to talk about episodes 6 and 7.
And 7. Oh, yes.
Yes.
6 and 7.
These episodes may touch on some sensitive material.
Oh boy. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Like, bad. I think these are maybe 2 of the best episodes.
Yeah.
They are definitely they're starting to like poke and prod at certain I think it's that I'm kind of starting to get in sync with the show, like, and the expectations of how it does things, and even when I do feel like I know it kind of like, but we're gonna do this a little bit and we're gonna take it in this direction. And like some of the well, as with most of the Satoshi Kon stuff, like the visuals are always just wow. They're always impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think we're getting into some really impressive stuff at this stage for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Certainly there is it's a murdery. It's a crime drama of try solve the crime of getting hit in the head by a baseball bat.
It's sort of like it's really difficult to say. I think exactly like it is like a cop procedural of like, or something you would find on the BBC of like, oh, the crime has happened and now we're gonna find out what's happened.
Hang on.
Okay.
There's been a murder.
Yeah, Taggart.
That's the one. I remember one. All right, cool. Old school Taggart with what's his name? Taggart, actual Taggart.
Was it Magnus? Somebody Magnus?
Yeah, Magnus.
Taggart. Mark McManus. Sorry,
Mark McManus. Yeah. He's like, there's been a murder, and it's. I don't know how often he said that. I think he may have said it once, but it just got coined.
Once per episode.
Yeah. Anyway, I was disappointed in it because it's like, okay, here we go. Here's the suspects. These are the people we're thinking of it. It's a suspect, and then like
I love Taggart.
And then it gets to like third part or whatever. I think it was so it was like covered over a few, like maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours worth, or it was a couple of episodes, but this was like the whole thing. And it wasn't until like the final ad break they go, "Oh, we got this new suspect," and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's him, obviously.
Bet it's this guy. I remember watching an episode of Taggart with my parents, and it was, well, I can tell you basically, it was a guy had committed a murder because it was a revenge killing for him ruining someone ruining his farm, and I had that sussed in the first 5 minutes. Not only with that person's the killer, I gave the motive immediately, and then I left and came back 20 minutes later because I had to go and do something, and my mum and dad were like, I think you were right, I think it is this guy. And then we got to the end of the episode and I was like, yep, there he is, he's admitting it was him, I was right this whole time.
Yeah, no, this guy wasn't
this whole time.
This guy wasn't even in the show. It was just like
a new addition. Hate that. That's poor. That's poor.
I don't like that, and that's like 90% of all crime dramas. endless like.
I will.
Here's the mystery star character. Oh, it's him.
I will say that what's it called?
Cumbernauld.
No. God damn it! I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. The author is an author called Harlan Coben, and he has like lots of adaptions on Netflix. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
All right.
And I quite like a few of them.
Sounds like it.
Although one of them is not there, which is interesting. I always thought it was him. That one's good. Didn't watch that one. Hang on a minute. Do you mean to tell me that the one I watched first wasn't him? Or this Wikipedia article is wrong? Anyway, one of them is called The Stranger. Which was really good. And I would very much recommend it. It's on Netflix. You should watch it, Colin. It's pretty decent.
No.
And the other one, it is Harlan Coben. It's just not on the fucking list. That's so weird. Is one called Safe, which was also really good.
Yeah, no, those shows don't. Nope.
I like them when they're self-contained, or I used to really like Morse. Inspector Morse was proper quality television.
Morse was pretty good. What about
Morse.
Young Morse? You ever watch that?
No.
That seemed alright.
I watched Lewis for a bit.
Oh yeah, Lewis, where his assistant took over the prize because he retired / died.
Died.
Yeah.
I watched Cracker. Robbie Coltrane.
Oh, that's the Coltrane one, wasn't it? And
what was the David Jason one?
I can't remember. But you never watched Rebus?
Rebus, yeah, I watched Rebus. As well as the what was the one about the pathologist? John Hannah in it. Anyway, the Touch of Frost is the David Jason one.
Oh, that was it. Touch of Frost. Yeah.
That is really good. I'm just trying to find this fucking.
I've not watched these because this is what my parents watch, and I just don't. I don't know. I always just go in the start and go, it was him, and in the ballroom with a candlestick.
Yep,
and
that's what makes them great. It was John Hannah that was in Rebus as well, but he was also in McCallum, which is the one where he was a pathologist.
All right.
And then there's a newer one called Wire in the Blood, which is also very good.
I'm sure my folks are probably watching that.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the
good shit, man?
What's the Yorkshire one with the women?
I don't know.
Verma or something. Verma? Anyway,
my parents have started watching the Danish ones as well.
Oh yeah. My folks did that, and then they started watching the Sicilian Detective.
Wow.
What is it? Marco Bano or something?
Marco Bano, yep, my parents watched that as well. I think there's just a generation of people who just watch that shit.
Crime.
Like it was sustenance.
Yeah, possibly people from the West Coast.
Yeah. You're probably not wrong. Yeah.
Because that's 100% both mine and your parents are from the West Coast, right?
Yep, and that is yeah. Like, God, that has definitely made me realize something about that generation of people from that area.
Yeah,
it's wild. Yeah, Borgen. That's the name. Borgen.
Oh, yeah. That's a Swedish guy, isn't it?
It's Danish. Yeah, it's Danish.
Oh, the Danish. They like the actual the bridge but not the American adaptation.
Oh yeah. I think that has also been watched, and The Wall, and and other nouns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Verma.
lots of those.
Sure, it's Verma is the kind of Yorkshire, Yorkshire, or at least like from the north, detective lady.
I mean, I'm googling it.
It might not be Verma, because that'll probably bring up Scooby Doo. It was on ITV Channel 3 or STV or
no. Yorkshire series.
Got my phone out.
Is it? Wait, hang on. I've got a list of the best. Vera, is it Vera?
Vera, that's it. I need to start with the V.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Broadchurch as well.
Oh,
Happy Valley, Line of Duty. God.
yeah.
Yeah, these are.
Yeah.
Oh, The Bay. God damn it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of all of these, but never watched any of them. I need to watch more of these.
No, you don't. They're all the same.
Oh, I like them though.
A true West Coaster. I've also been taken
like
away
them.
from that.
Yeah, I enjoy them.
I just also have no imagination, and
oh no, like it's not like it takes a lot of imagination to go, I guess that person murdered someone this week.
or I just don't want to watch things about people offing themselves or killing themselves. Or
you've chosen the wrong show. Because here we are. Good segue back into Paranoia Agent, because that is essentially we'll discover in the next couple of episodes things happen. Mm-hmm. Episode 6, our first episode for today, is Fear of a Direct Hit. And this one starts off where you mentioned the last time we kind of met that old lady who was a witness to the incident of what happened to Tsukiko. Mm-hmm. They start to question her. Yeah,
but she goes on about her granddaughter. How she wants to see her granddaughter. Right.
She hasn't seen her granddaughter in a long time
because her husband's business went under.
I started to think that her granddaughter, for some reason, might have been Maria, and I don't know why.
I mean, yeah. But they interlaced this story with like this other young woman who I thought was the granddaughter, just walking around with her wide brim hat as they're talking about a storm coming in.
That's right.
And she just interspliced her walking around the city. And not meeting anyone in particular. So, but she's talking. So the old lady is really talking about her granddaughter. She wants to see the granddaughter.
Yep.
And you have this flashback of the girls. It's walking around the street, and she's getting bullied by some kids because she's ratted them out about a game and they got confiscated or something, and it's like, you need to pay for a new one. Oh no, I'm going to tell my daddy. And she goes and runs to the daddy, who's is what's his name, Harikawa, the policeman,
Hirakawa. Yeah.
Hirakawa.
Yeah.
And so then it's kind of in splice, and it makes you think that she's talking about them because that's the images that you're getting rather than anything else. And then she's doing that, talking about this. I kind of finally get to the gritty bit about the girl and seeing the thing, because the chief is getting annoyed at the the interrogation of.
It takes so much for him to get annoyed. He's so chill normally.
Shit, yeah. He gave up smoking. Said he gave up smoking.
He did
when he met his friend in episode 4, I just quit today. And then he's like,
and then started smoking again almost immediately.
He started smoking again in episode 5 because the kid stressed him out so much with his fantasy land. Anyway, so he's smoking.
Yes.
And then
he's angry. He's yelling at her because he's frustrated by the fact that she's not being clear about what it is that she's seen.
Yeah.
And after he kind of gives her a good shouting at, she alludes to the fact that she never saw anyone attacking Tsukiko.
Yeah. Yeah. She also got smoke. She got really excited with the smoke.
Yep. She does.
Oh
yeah!
Alright, here's one. And she
spark it up.
Spark it up and take the big drag out of it and blows it in their faces. Like the mystic from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's basically stated there's no one attacked her. And they're like, alright, okay. We're gonna have to bring what's her name in.
Yeah, Tsukiko, they're gonna need to question her again because something's not adding up here. Like, of course they've now they've arrested Kozuka, and he has said he didn't have anything to do with that. It seems, or it looks like he hasn't had anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows someone who might be able to shed some light on that. And now that person has said, no, there was no one there.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's hinted towards this person, basically.
Yeah.
And he's admitted, essentially, he's now not in the delusional state. He's getting like proper interrogated, and he's actually kind of upset about things. He says, "No, I've only done these 2 people," and he's like, "Oh, okay." So he's admitted to some of the crimes, but not all of them.
Yeah.
And also, like, he's a copycat killer.
Yep.
So he's admitted to that, and they brought Tsukiko. I can't get her name right.
That's fine.
But then I can't get the viewer's name right either. There you go.
No.
So there you go. I'm not just being racist. I just can't do names.
You're definitely not being racist. You just cannot do names.
I'm not doing names. Anyway, so yeah, so she's caring to interrogate them, and he's like, "Okay, you pretty much lied to us. What's really going down?" And Izaki goes, Akira goes, "Show it, bring it out," and then they dump this like metal rod on the ground.
Oh, yeah. There was a pipe found at the scene.
Yeah, in the drain.
And
you found this in the drain yourself. We had the witness of the old woman. She was looking through the bushes and saw you basically attack yourself. And she's like, "No, it was a little slugger. Yep. And then miraculously, she takes a wallet to the back of her head.
She just kind of goes,
and just falls over unconscious.
Yep.
As she looks like she got hit. Like there was a shake of like a poster and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where she'd also cut back to the girl that we're talking about, where she's having the flashbacks, and she was having so much fun with her dad and all that, and happy times, and she's going to make her a birthday card on the computer, and then she finds.
Oh well, no, because first of all, we see all the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
We know who the dad is, which is Hirakawa.
Mm-hmm.
We know that he spoils her rotten, and wants to. There's discussion of like buying a new house so she can have a room to study in. And I think like, does it not like do a kind of cut to her wandering around when it's really stormy? And like he's trying to call her, and she's just like, "I'm gonna fucking destroy you."
Yeah,
like
you in your house. Yeah,
it's like, wow, very different.
Oh, we don't know that's who that person is as such.
No,
in the flashback.
You can infer it.
Yeah, I mean the character is very similar looking.
Yeah. and of course, like, what's happened is like, as you said, like, they've moved into this new house, and she's like designed a birthday card for him.
She was designing a birthday card for him on the computer. And she says, there you go, I'll got that. And then she finds a folder on the computer.
Yeah, she does.
And yeah, there's a hidden camera in the room.
Yeah. And it's photos of her getting undressed.
Yeah. So she basically tears up the room, finds the camera behind the bookshelf, and then smashes it in.
Yep. Now, we can't say exactly what those pictures are to the father. Neither of them are good. None of the options are good. But there are some fairly heavy implications with his sexual predilections, and with what would seem to be the potential thing that happened in that flat with that family. We just don't know. None of it particularly good.
Yeah.
So she loses her shit and smashes up the room and camera, like you say, that was hidden behind the bookshelf.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think she then runs out into the storm, which is kind of...
No. I don't think that's recent.
Do we not?
No, I think that...
I
thought that was... She was still quite young, and that's a flashback. And she's remembering all that stuff.
Oh, maybe. I don't know, I saw it kind of happening in real time.
Or no, I thought she was still younger at that point.
Oh, maybe.
Because she was in a different outfit from when she smashed up the camera. That's for sure.
Yeah, valid point.
That doesn't mean that she didn't just get changed and going out.
Oh, no, that's a fair point, and that probably lines up with the old woman saying that she hadn't seen her granddaughter in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I did not read that when I was watching the episode. I thought it was a lot more fresh than that, but you're right. Like, this is I guess I just don't know why she waited to say something.
I don't know if she's been in good terms with it.
But that doesn't make sense then, because the house was being built at the time where Low Slugger was a thing.
I don't think it's a new house. I think it is a new house.
That's what they do. They move into their own house, and it's that we see it being, like, not to like ruin it, but we see it being physically destroyed, and it's the same one that he stood looking at. Well, so that house was built in like the last couple of episodes, and they would have had to move in since then.
It was still getting built. I don't know. It's
like, so this has to have taken place over a very short amount of time.
I don't know.
There's something funny with the timeline here.
I don't think it is. I think it's not the new house. I think it's still the old house.
Well, the old house, they all slept in one room.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking
she had her own room
with a bed and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Because
you can see, like, when they're having the conversation, and she interrupts and says, "I don't mind. I like it here." She's lying in a bed, and there's another 2 beds next to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Might need to have a look at it again.
Something funny going on there, but yeah, she's in the street. She's obviously, like, losing it out in the streets during this horrible storm that's happening, and wishing that she was empty.
Yeah. I was Should also mention that the interrogation ends when the old woman's house blows away.
That's right.
Her shack
Yeah,
blows
that's
away.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And then the policemen are under Rainbow Bridge talking about stuff, and then what's his name goes, "Oh, I owe you a Korean barbecue because you're right. What she did
right.
make it up." And then
Yeah.
anyway, so basically, she's wandering around. If she gets to like a bridge or something, and she's looking to maybe jump off the bridge into the swirling currents.
Yep.
And then she sees herself hanging from a pole.
In a pretty horrifying way.
Yeah.
She just kind of
She's just kind of like
turns round and looks up at her, and then starts going like, "Hi,
yeah,
come here,
yeah.
come to me."
She's caught on like
A branch or something.
a bar or something. As like her her coat got caught there, and then she kind of blinks, and it turns out to be the lady. And then gets washed away, and then she kind of like
she's gone,
and then she kind of does poo sticks. Goes under the bridge.
Yeah, that's right.
And then basically, I think she gets another call or something, or she starts screaming, or she gets a call and says, "I will hope the house is destroyed, and I don't want to remember any of this." And then she gets smacked in the side of the head by a little slugger. Concisely at the same time as what's her name in interrogation room.
Oh, Tsukiko.
Yeah. I think
so
that's fine.
The daughter's name is Taeko.
Yeah.
And yeah, it seems like there's a coincidence there. You're right. I think they call mention to that specifically there in the next episode.
Yeah.
But she's of course found after the taken to hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They, I think, draw the parallels that she's been attacked in a similar manner to. In fact, I think the Ikari and Maniwa are like in their office when someone comes in. Is like, hey, someone's in the hospital. Similar MO.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to come and check it out.
Yeah.
And we see what's his name? Hirakawa sitting at the bedside, probably quite panicked at what she's going to say if she ever wakes up again.
Yeah, well, he basically goes, "Oh, yeah, well, your wish came true. The house is destroyed in a landslide."
Really weird. Like, really, really weird. Immediate red flag of a response.
And then
to your daughter waking up from a coma.
Yeah, and then she gets up and just goes, "Who are you?" With a crazy smile on her face.
Like, that smile is wild.
Like crazy Joker smiley laughing glass.
It looks like someone literally has hooks and is just
pulling the face, yeah.
Pulling them back ever so slightly, and it's like, that's really uncomfortable.
Yeah. And the old lady gets saved too.
She does.
And is reunited with her granddaughter.
Yeah. Who doesn't remember her.
She doesn't. Oh, she does, doesn't she?
The daughter doesn't remember anybody.
No, the daughter. No, but that's not the granddaughter.
Oh no! Wait, sorry. No, you're right.
This is where you find it. Oh, she wasn't talking about that.
It's
person.
not the same person at all.
No, and it was no one that we ever met before.
Oh, they pulled a Taggart.
They pulled a Taggart. There's been a murder.
There's been a murder. There's been a coma.
Oh, hang on. I'll have to wait till next episode now. Anyway,
we'll downgrade it from murder
yeah.
to
Been an incident.
She was taken to a hospital where she was pronounced dead through murder, taken to a better hospital where her condition was upgraded to alive.
Alive, yeah.
Um, it's quite a striking end to an episode, I must admit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think it's at this point where we're sort of like, I suppose, being drawn to that idea that I think we've mentioned this before. It's the idea is like people who seem to be like really struggling with something.
Mm-hmm.
Something is happening to them, and like for her, she was just at the end of her rope. Like basically, just I can't deal with this, and I need not to know the things I know.
Yeah,
and she wakes up not knowing, and I like. There's kind of a weirdness to that as well, like, because I'm frustrated because of course like Hirakawa is gonna have got away with something absolutely awful, and yet he now not only like, because before he'd lost his daughter through like her knowing what terrible things or implications of what terrible things he'd done, but knowing at one point that she loved him and adored him, and now she doesn't remember that, but she just doesn't remember him at all. She just has no feeling towards him.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think that's enough of a punishment, quite honestly. But obviously, it's some sort of ironic twist on that narrative, I guess.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking that next episode they get the call about, because this episode kind of seems to end the star. All the stars have been downgraded to a tropical, like it's not a typhoon anymore. It's a tropical storm out in the Pacific, and it kind of ends with that. And then it's like, oh, okay, and then Tsuki, no, not Tsuki, Tsukiko. She's taken to the, not the infirmary, but
she's taken to somewhere to rest, like at the side. Like that's the start of the next episode, is her in the thing. Yeah. So how do we feel about this episode? How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, it's going places, man. I don't see it. It's it's going places. It's wrapping up the insanity to 9. Well, no, maybe 8. Because the next episode it wraps it up to 9. It's hard to follow the next episode. I don't know what's going on with it. So we've done that. It's staying around about the same. It piqued my interest more than the last 2 episodes, to be honest. Last 2 episodes I was kind of distracted through them. I'm going to stick with the 7 because it's going there. It's getting to places. Got the 7.
That's fair. I think this episode is a 9 for me. Just again, it's like it's pulling on the things that that are keeping me. Like I find actually going back to the character Hirakawa and elaborating even further on the sort of the decline of that character is quite fascinating. The whole this is kind of the payoff to the sort of weird visibility we've had of his like his desires and his lifestyle and things like that, and like this is the sort of the punishment, I guess, for that. And I guess it's like there's even further a punishment to that as well, to a degree, where like his greatest desire was to be stopped. Like he needed to be stopped because he's doing the wrong things. He went from being the hero of his family to being like a monster that he needed. Like he needed stopped. He couldn't stop himself, so someone else needed to do it.
Yeah.
And I think there's also like a weird irony where obviously like the house got built and everything was okay, so like he never got caught for any of his crimes. So he was never stopped again. He's continued to do terrible things around his family, his daughter, and now an irony of her having amnesia is that he still won't be stopped.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one to stop him. She could have done something about that, and she would have done something about that.
Mm-hmm.
But her desperation to forget that has cursed him again to continue to like do awful things potentially. He's almost like he knows consciously he is an awful human being and doing wrong regularly, constantly, and desperately has a desire to be stopped, but no ability to stop himself. And every time it seems like that something could happen to stop him, it doesn't. All it does is actually perpetuate his ability to continue. Because if you think back to Little Slugger as well, like Kozuka, he hit him, and you're like, oh, that's it. He's been struck. Like, this is his like reprieve.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, what happens is it didn't stop him by like making them find him with a bunch of money that turned out not to be his.
Yeah.
In fact, it made him even more of a hero and allowed him to continue again. So like, it's just this cycle of being allowed to continue to be an awful person. Even though like deep down he's like, I like, this has to stop, and I can't stop it for some reason. So it's kind of wild.
Seems that ways the way you can look at that one. Yeah.
Like that's certainly how I read into it. Like, this episode in particular is a hard one to watch. Like, it's like the content is not entertaining. It's a hard watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that sort of weird dynamic that he seems to have, where he is constantly avoiding being stopped, even though he's bad at like keeping things under wraps.
Oh yeah,
he's not.
He's flicking it.
He's obvious. He's blatant. It's just happening upon him that he's not being caught.
Yep.
I just think that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this episode. I thought as a culmination to the. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe there's probably more to come from him and his daughter who doesn't remember anything. But I feel like this is quite a wow moment for that, where it's like, again, this bizarre reprieve from ever being caught, and just it's like, hey, those bad things, you can keep doing those. Don't worry, no one knows. It's all right.
Yeah, no one
has to know.
Yeah,
yeah, be fine. So yeah, I think that's wild. A really interesting like subtext to the whole show, because obviously like there's other things going on here, but there's that kind of weird undertone and story to it. I quite liked.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you said, this one's probably going to be a bit difficult to describe, so I guess we're just going to have to do our best.
Yeah.
Episode 7 is megahertz or millihertz.
Megahertz.
I thought that. Yeah, megahertz.
MHZ.
Yeah, can you get millihertz though? Sure, I've heard that phrase before.
Millihertz.
Yeah. Millihertz.
What's a millihertz?
I'm just going to find out what they are to each other.
One is smaller than the other.
I presumably. Oh wow, okay. 1 millihertz.
Oh,
megahertz is a lot smaller.
Yep,
I think.
I would say so.
10 to the minus 9. So 1 megahertz is.
Got 9 zeros behind it.
10 million. No, wait.
10 million.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 billion millihertz.
1 billion.
1 billion millihertz.
Oh, well, it's actually 1 million, but.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. We'll pay that.
A billion, fabillion, fafillion.
Yeah. And then he goes, a billion. It's like, oh, all right. Now you're talking.
Yeah, fine. So this one, I think if you were like to try and high level summarize this episode is basically about Manawa's breakdown.
Yeah, he's having a breakdown while solving the case to a degree. So
Yeah.
so he's basically so basically I think this one starts with the lass, the first lass of getting struck.
Tsukiko.
Tsukiko, yeah.
Yep.
She's kind of unconscious and it's candlelit because also the power's gone out because the typhoon is happening. And they get the call about another suspect has been hit in the similar circumstances at this point. So Chief goes out, and then Manoa's kind of there with Tsuko.
Yep.
And then I think comes to agree, or does she stay there and she wakes up?
She wakes up, and I think this is where they kind of have the open discussion about the fact that something happened to Taeko.
Yeah.
Because she's lost her memory.
Yeah.
And that happened. Of course, the MO is the same.
Same time.
Yeah. But Kozuka and Tsukiko. Well, Kozuka was in prison, and Tsukiko was right in front of Ikari and Maniwa, so there was no way that either of them had anything to do with what happened to Taeko.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they go and visit Taeko. And then they're leaving after looking at her. And
because she has nothing to tell them.
No, she's just sitting upright in bed with this crazy smile. And corrupt policeman Hirikawa? Hirikawa. He's just there, Kelly. Also kind of like a weird trance type thing with Nixter.
Yeah.
In shock. So they leave, and they're in a different hostel from the first hostel, and the old man's there.
Yes. He's in the hallway.
And he's glowing red.
He is glowing red.
Looking at a mirror.
Yeah.
And then Mama starts to have weird visions at this point.
Yeah. About the old man.
About the old man, yeah.
Doing his magic tricks. Is that later on?
I think that's later on. So he's like that, and he's looking at the old man, and he's like, oh wow, what the hell? And then start talking about it, and then I think he starts remembering what he's talking about. The other people, like, they all had something there, and maybe he does go into the trance where the old man's doing magicians, and
I think
he's at that table.
I think before. I don't know if it's before this bit or around this bit, but there's like an extended period of time where Ikari is just like going to town on Kozuka.
Yeah.
Like just like smashing him about and like fucking admit what you did, tell us the truth.
Yeah.
And he repeats the same thing. He's like, I can't. It's like it was those two. That was it. And he's like, I'm a holy warrior. Yeah. And Ikari's like, fuck are you? And throws him against the wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, shut up with your shit. Tell us the truth. And he breaks character and like kind of admits to having been influenced to do this. And like just chose those two people. That's how this has happened.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then there's talk about how it's impossible to hit people in nervous breakdowns. How you target those people type thing.
Yep. Exactly.
So anyway,
that's what Maniwa is starting to believe. He's like, there's a connection here.
Yeah.
And I think there's maybe another little slugger going about here. I think there's something weird going on. But on top of that, like the thing I want to try and get from people is I feel like people were at a breaking point.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, and like that we've been kind of talking about that. Maybe not so much a breaking point idea, but like at a moment of crisis almost, where there's an inflection point, and he's like, I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Something is happening that these people were struggling with.
Yeah. So
and of course the daughter doesn't remember anything because she remembers nothing.
Yeah. So he's going about talking to people. So he's doing interviews with people. He talks to like the fat kid.
Ishiyama,
yeah. He's like, oh yeah, oh, don't worry, don't trouble yourself. He talks to Maria.
And she's like very cagey. He talks to Miss Chuno, who doesn't want to tell him about Maria, presumably. So
so he's like, oh, all right, okay. And he goes to Harakawa and talks to him about his daughter, and he also doesn't want to say anything about that either. Kind of breaks down.
I think what's clear though is he is confident that even the people who aren't talking, there's something going on.
Yeah, he's confident there's something that they hadn't told him, and they are near breaking point. So he's
because with Ichi, he was being bullied.
Yeah,
like that's the kind of thing going on there, and I guess with Ishiyama, you could probably say, you could make the argument, it's like, well, he was having a tough time in school from joining.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's maybe drawing connections where there are none in some cases, but that's his theory.
Well,
anyway.
He was hit by the copycat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But as I'm saying, he doesn't know that yet, though. Like he's trying to confirm a connection between them all, anyway.
Yeah. And Tsuki was getting bullied at work / stressing over her
deadlines and things.
And then Frogman, he was in debt because he's had to pay for the old man.
That's right.
So anyway, he's kind of running around, and then he has these visions of the old man, and he's sitting there having a meal and says, "Is this it?" And it's like, "Oh no!" And then some Indian guy appears. Here's some
he brings
food.
them the rest of it. He's like, "Oh no, we ordered this." And he's like, "Oh, here's my Indian waiter. Bring me the rest of my food."
Yeah.
With a less than PC accent.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway,
different time.
Yeah, I don't. Let's not. Anyway, then it kind of cuts away, and then the old man's like on stage now, going, "Haha! Look at me! I'm going to do this trick. I'm going to walk through a wall," and he goes, "Walks through a wall. I've walked through a wall," and then he's going, and I got one more trick, and he splits himself in two.
He's like, basically, keep all of your eyes open, motherfuckers, because you're about to witness something.
Yeah.
And he just kind of goes like, whoa, wah! And part of him goes right, part of him goes left, and he's just two heads.
Yeah, I know, he's like two whole bodies.
Is he two whole? It is the way it's animated is grossly disturbing. It just kind of is like, okay.
I think that might be the first time when he was looking at the mirror. He has this illusion of them. There's two heads, but
that's right, because it's the two eyes, the left and the right eye, then merge into his face going
Yeah, and then he's in the crowd, and everyone else in the crowd is turned to the old man except from him. Then it just zooms out, and it's like all old man except him in the center.
A sea of old man faces.
And then he wakes up.
He does. In his apartment.
Yeah, and then he goes to the chief and goes, "Oh no, there's this hidden thing, there's that and this," and the chief goes, "Here's some, take some abstinence. You need some time off, mate. You're going insane."
Yeah, you can tell his character's becoming more and more manic.
Mm-hmm.
as the episode continues. Like, he is desperate to find connection and meaning as to this.
So I would say that there's been a slow build up to that in the last couple of episodes as well, where he's been kind of staring evilly at the kid, and the kid's going, "Oh no," and stuff like that. And anyway, so he's been taking leave, and he's walking down the street, going, "Right, just need to find someone at a point of breaking point. Next person is in the corner and needs to get out. It'll be the next attacker." And then he goes, "I know who it is. It's the kid. Mohawk.
Kozuka.
He's got Mohawk as his last name, right? Kozuka Mohawk.
It's Makoto. Sorry. Makoto Kozuka.
Okay. Kozuka. Anyway, who's locked in the cell, and he's basically in the cell, heads in his knees in the corner, and he's like, "Oh, it's him." And then they do kind of a raid on the prison cell or something, and
they burst in because I presume like they think they're going to find something going on, and sure enough, they break the door down or kick the door in, and there's a little slugger.
No, they don't even need to do that. Door's wide open.
Do they not? Is the door open?
Yeah.
I, for some reason, thought they burst in through a door.
So it's weird because they're talking about like, "Oh yeah, I can't be doing this. I'll get my pay deducted." And the chief's like, "Oh, I'll lose a lot more in pay here."
That's right. It's going to be a lot more than pay, because he's like, "You're doing this on a whim. There's no real rationale to this, kid, but I guess we'll trust you."
Yeah, you take lead from my dude, and then they go down, and he's got his gun, and they see the door open, and they're like, "Oh right, okay," and they peer around the door, and there's a little sucker, and the prison door is open, I think, as well, and he kind of looks at them, and they go, "Stop right there!" And he kind of does a wee grimace, and then just skates away.
We should note as well is that we do see that his bat is covered in blood.
Yes, it does have blood on it. Yeah.
And he does skate away, and Maniwa follows him right to the end and realizes that it's just a wall. Because there's nowhere where he could have gone.
Skates into darkness when you see him and disappears, and then it's a wall, and then I think the chief looks at the kid, and he is blood spattered in the prison.
Ikari shouts him back, and he's like, "Holy shit!
Yep,
this is bad." And sure enough, the kid is like covered in blood, and quite clearly dead.
Yeah. And then
we then cut to the news, which is highlighting that Kozuka's death was a suicide, and that the police have issued an apology, and that there has been resignations with many to follow involved in the case for their negligence.
Yep. And it looks like the chief and Maniwa are cleaning up their desks, and there's back talk basically saying that the chief of Shitter associated himself, partnered up with Maniwa. And that's basically
we should say as well as like throughout this entire episode there have been like glimpses of someone hunched over a desk tuning things in.
Yeah, that's why it's called megahertz. And it's like either the old man or someone else is doing it. He also visits,
and we're about to
visits the old man doing his sum.
He does.
And looks at the sum, the big math equation that he's doing in the car park.
That's right.
Didn't have an answer in that one.
Nope. But we are soon to find out who it is that is, of course, hunched over the desk.
Yeah.
Obviously, both Ikari and Maniwa have lost their jobs. Maniwa is, of course, still convinced that he knows what's up.
Yeah.
And now we have, I think, maybe one of the best 30 seconds I've ever seen in an anime.
Yeah?
Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
All right, go through it then.
So we see that he wakes up at home like he did the last time, and there's for a moment you're kind of like, oh, maybe that was a dream, and we're gonna repeat something. Maybe Kozuka didn't die, but we see like from his movement and his facial expression that he's accepted that reality, and he walks through a door to reveal the room with the desk, with the equipment that has been being tuned in throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
And he sits down at that, and there's this kind of overlapping audio of his voice, his various conversations he's having in his head. It's like there's more of them. There must be two of them. Like it has to be. And it's this kind of cacophony. I think just like auditorily and visually, there are very few animes I think that do it so well as anything by Satoshi Kon. Like I've never seen anybody visualize just mental unrest as well. Like anything from Perfect Blue to Paprika, even in like Tokyo Godfathers, like the moments of like breaking for people, like there's a real there's a talent in that. And like here, I think that last 30 seconds with this kind of cacophony overlapping vocals, and I think the dub is really impressive at that point. The voice artist who voiced Maniwa is really good. And I think it's a really strong scene. For an episode that there's a lot going on, it's like a lot of visual misdirection and a lot of weird stuff happening. Like I think it's a really striking way to end an episode.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of, so there's a bit just before that where he's walking through the street going, yes. He's doing the street thing going, yes, it's got to be someone. Need to find someone in the corner. And then he's like, here's skates.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
And then he wakes up at that point, and then he goes in and basically says, he could be anywhere. He could be two places at once.
Anywhere.
It's in the head. He'll strike without warning. Yeah, and he's just kind of whispering it into the microphone, into the equipment.
It's that repetition of it's just kind of like he's continuing to talk, but every time it's like he could be anywhere.
Yeah,
he could be anywhere.
Yeah,
he could be anywhere.
And
it just gets more and more like not even like audibly noisy, but like the audio is crowded. It feels overwhelming. I think it's really it's very well done. Like I think it's great audio design. I think the visuals of it are really impressive as well. And I think like as a culmination of what's happened to that character, like you say, through the last episodes of him just kind of gradually becoming more and more detached from reality and just trying to like find a reason for this at any cost. Clearly like the cost is his own mental well-being, because it's now 100%. Left him
100%. Yeah. Gone. Sanity's cranked up to 10 this one, like.
Yeah, I like this. I thought it was a really good episode.
Yeah,
even though it's very disjointed and it was impressive.
Most of the episodes are quite disjointed because they're trying to compress a lot of things into one now. Instead of like before where it was like quite clear, this is the story of Tsuki, this is the story of Ichi, this is the story of
it's all kind of
Maria
merging together.
Yeah, and they're merging them together, and then it's kind of cross vibes, and we kind of got to follow. Yeah, this basically that fucking goddamn picture of Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with his red string going. This guy.
Yep. Yeah, like, but I think that's the. I have noticed this. Like, I love Lane. Like, I think Lane is fantastic. I think it's very prescient. I think it had a wider message with its madness.
Yeah.
But this is very much just speaking about people.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very sort of human. And I guess that's the same in all of Satoshi Kon's things as well. It's all about the kind of fragility of the mind and like people's grasp on reality and their ability to cope. And I think that it is really impressive that you're able to get so many different varieties of story but keep that thematic consistency throughout it, because it's clear it was what he excelled at. Like it was excellently written, beautifully directed as well. And I presume he worked with like the same studio, the animation studio, because like I think all of his stuff has a fair consistency in the way it looks as well.
Same, yeah.
So
yeah, certainly. Toku, they all kind of got that same look, same art style.
It's really good.
Yeah,
really, really, really good. I think it's definitely proving to me. I think it's interesting. I watched this at a point in my life where I don't, like, for whatever reason, I don't really remember having watched it as much. I know I've watched it because I watched this and a bunch of stuff all within like the span of about a month, and then didn't watch any anime again until I think you mentioned to me, it's like, hey, you should watch Gurren Lagann, and then I did.
Gurren Lagann, man, that is a one quality anime. I mean, it's a bit fan servicey, but to a degree, but it's not terrible.
Fantastic characters, though. I will say, like, the really, really well written characters.
Yeah. This was new when it came out. Not Gurren Lagann, but like I think it's made by the same studio, because it looks like it's got what's his name? Who was the guy who was the leader? Bro. Never watched it.
Can't remember. The studio that did it was Gainax.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the same team that's done that, because
it's gonna have
it's Promy or something like that. Anyway, how do you rate the episode? Or we go off tangent too much.
You go for you go first. You go first. I'll let you answer.
Yeah, it's there. It's coming to. It's getting. It's. You thought they had a solution to the problem, and like every good crime drama, they don't have it quite right. They've gone down the wrong angle. Except that it's made one of the cops go insane and essentially start a conspiracy radio station broadcasting to CB or something. CB was mentioned in it. Chocolate biscuits.
CB.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to give it an 8 because it's wrapping up the story. It's going places. I've been saying that. It's going places.
But I think that's good though. Is like, because it is like, you're right though. It is constantly moving.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're about to get somewhere, and it just drags you further.
Yeah. Away from it.
I think I'm probably going to stick with a 9. I do feel like this is like, just again, like a really, it's a difficult to describe episode, and I would encourage anyone that is listening to this, like, you have to watch this. Like, it is a really visually impressive animation. Like, I think that there are very few animes I've watched that really convey the sense of feeling that the characters have, or their emotional state, even like a facial expression or like a stance, even like the color palette and things like that at times. I think it's just really expressive.
Yeah, because
there's a lot of attention to detail there.
This one with the maddening of Maniwa is that he's walking down the street, but you don't see the street. It gets bleached out by the bright light behind him. And he's kind of faded, and he's got kind of whooshy eyes type thing as well. When they go into his eyes, he's kind of like totally zoned out properly, and just getting,
because it doesn't matter. That's the thing is that that's not what's important. I guess it's like sort of trying to hint at his
lack of sanity,
his tunnel vision. Like, it's like, my focus is here. It's like, I don't know what else is going on, but like, this is like, I need to be here. This is what I'm thinking about. And like, I just think it is. You're right. It's just really strong, really, really strong.
Yeah, there's a lot of visual nods in this one. Yeah.
I know we talked about like how expensive it was to get the Blu-ray of this, but probably after we finish this, I probably will look to pick it up. It is really good. I've enjoyed it. Like I think that's my aim is for my anime Blu-ray collection is just to find the ones that like just are very meaningful. And I'm kind of hoping at some point that they're going to do a Trigun Stampede release.
Oh, yeah, they'll do that.
They still haven't done it though. And like that's such a bummer. I don't know if I mentioned to you or not, but remember how we were saying like we'd never read the manga for Trigun? Well, there are two different mangas.
Oh.
There was Trigun and Trigun Maximum, like the two different book series. They're both being brought to hardcover.
All right.
Like the big Hellsing books I have.
Yeah.
So I've decided like I've already got the first ones for each of them pre-ordered. I'm like I think I'd probably really like it at the very least to kind of understand more about that character.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
Yeah. Just a little PSA. Those books are going to be a thing soon. So
there's going to be a thing soon. This coming out.
Yep. 19th of December for the first Trigun Deluxe Edition, and the Trigun Maximum Deluxe Edition is April next year.
All right. Well, I mean, it's pretty cool. I've never really read the manga myself.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I figured, like, I really like both of the shows. So I don't think there's any reason that I wouldn't like the manga. And also, like, it's not like the Berserk book series where there's like 40 different books at 50 quid each. They're obviously like more expensive books, but it says that the Trigun Deluxe Edition, there will only be 2 books, 2 volumes. And the Maximum Edition, there will only be 3. So it's like, for 5 books, it would be probably close to like a couple of hundred over like the span of however long it takes them to actually release all of them. So I think that's probably a fair price for like a nice hardback bound book. I lucked out for the Hellsing stuff and paid like very cheap somehow.
Yeah, not people selling them cheap, eh?
Well, the thing was, like, I managed to get I think one of them I paid 40 for, which was cheap for the second one, and then for the third one I think I paid 30, which was also cheap. And for the first one, it was just impossible to find it in the UK. Nobody had it anywhere. It was out of print everywhere, and I was like, "Well, that's a bummer. I've got book 2 and book 3, but no book 1." And then I went onto eBay and saw people selling it at like stupid amounts, like 50 quid, 60 quid, and I'm like, I'm now being forced to make a decision of like, do I not buy it now and hope that it gets reprinted? Or do I buy it now knowing that it might never get reprinted and it's going to cost an absolute fortune soon? And I was like, oh, maybe I'll have to pay. And then I saw one at £22, brand new. And it was like, oh, but it's from Australia. I was like, that's probably why. It's going to cost a fortune to send it to me.
Yeah.
It was free postage. So I got this super fucking heavy book.
Yeah.
Sent from halfway around the world.
Yeah.
At half the price it cost normally. Brand new. And I don't know how I managed that.
Well, yeah, I would thought they would tell you not to do it.
It felt like it might have been a mistake, but no, it happened, so I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, weird stuff. Anyway, that's your sort of manga update. I'm needing to redo my bookshelves because we're getting close to Christmas, and on my my Christmas list will be more Junji Ito collection books. So
yeah, it's more of those.
Yeah,
are you getting the coloring book?
I've been really tempted. Yeah,
because I saw that in Waterson's. So, it's a coloring book.
It's pretty cool. I don't know if I was kind of hoping that the new anime would be out by now, but it still seems like it's not out.
All right.
Or have I missed it?
Maybe missed it.
Just double checking, because we talked about maybe covering that at Halloween, and obviously Halloween's passed now.
It has passed.
No. Okay, so it says it's coming out this year, though, still.
But getting late.
Crazy. Yeah, getting real late.
Normally it's not.
Although,
normally the season's this year.
Like, well, it's only 4 episodes. I don't think it's like a huge series, so I don't think that would take them. I think they'll probably just release them all at once.
Right, okay.
It's also Adult Swim, I think, are doing the release.
All right, okay.
Obviously they were like a big part of anime's popularity in like the early 2000s as well, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you watched Pluto yet?
No. Have you?
I haven't, but I'm just asking here now in front of all of these people that might be listening to this. Should we cover Pluto?
I don't know. Should we? You're really interested in Pluto.
I don't know if you have seen the reviews of it.
Nope.
It's currently sitting at an 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
All right. No, I've watched the new Castlevania series.
Oh, is that Nocturne?
Nocturne, yeah.
Was it good?
It's all right. It's all right.
It's a different showrunner now, right?
Yeah, it's not the same crew. So like, I think it's some great. It's set in like the French Revolution period. It's kind of weird.
I still haven't watched seasons 2 and 3 of Castlevania.
Oh man, you should watch those. That was good.
I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
I just for whatever reason never got round to watching them. I did, however. I'm here to tell you I have finished Attack on Titan.
Oh, is it officially finished now?
It's done.
It's not. They're not bringing something else out.
Nope. They released 2 final episodes, one of an hour and one of an hour and a half, and it is done.
Oh Jesus! Is that what they did?
Yep.
What was the title of that chapter?
Attack on Titan, the final season, final part, final draft 1, part 1 this time for sure.
EX edition.
I will say, I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
I am sad it's over.
I had to finish at some point, man.
It did. I think it's a very fitting ending. Yeah, the thing was, I think the frustrating part was it wasn't like they dragged it out through episodes being bad or anything like that. They just dragged it out by not releasing anything for fucking years.
Yeah, they kept. I certainly must have watched the first season like 10 years ago.
That's when it got released?
Yeah, I think I'll find. Yeah, because maybe I watched it when I was in college, so maybe 8.
Like, if you look at the seasons, right? The first episode was released in it says here 2014, but even if it's that, right? The second season started in 2017, so 3 years later. Season 3 started the year after that in 2018, and then season 4 started 2 years after that in 2020. Then there was a break. Where was the break? From March 2021 to January 2022. And then it was and then there was a break between May 2022 and March 2023.
Yeah, and then there was another break.
No, then it's done.
March 2023.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry. Yeah, then there was another break until November.
Yeah,
So I didn't watch the part 1 in March. I only watched it when the other episode came out.
Yeah.
And annoyingly, I downloaded them on my phone to watch them on the bus on Sunday night. And I watched the first one on the way down. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. and then I started up the next episode and it was in Japanese, and I was like, oh, that's annoying. I'd watched it all in English up until now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll just change the language. Nope, no English dub yet on that one.
Oh, well.
So I was like, oh, do I have to wait? I don't want to wait. Oh, I shouldn't wait. No, I need to watch this. So I watched it in the final episode in Japanese. So I'll have to rewatch it with the dub when it comes out.
Yeah. I did that with. It was during COVID. There's wasn't. I wouldn't say it's an anime, but Scissor 7 or Scissor 7. It's like a on Netflix. It's like a Chinese animation of some sort.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Is it Chinese? Korean? I don't know. It wasn't Japanese, I'm pretty sure. That's kind of...
It will tell me if I scroll far enough.
Yeah. It's...
China. Yeah, I was going to say the names that are involved certainly look like they'd be Chinese names.
Yeah.
So.
I thought it was China. Anyway, it's kind of good. It's kind of funny. But like, I think the second season came out and they didn't have any English dub on it, so I watched it with the thing. And I was like, oh no, I can't do this. Don't know.
Have you watched the other seasons?
Yeah, I watched the first season and I enjoyed it. And then the second season came out, and then 3 and 4's out now.
4 is just 4 is this year.
Yeah, so I watched that now. But
nice.
I think I lost control of the plot at that point. It's like, what's happening here?
Oh man, crazy. So yeah, I think moral of the story, quick wrap up. Paranoia Agent is getting really good.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to doing the next 2 episodes next week. Trigun and Trigun Maximum hardbound books are coming. One this year, one next year. Pluto, the anime, looks really fucking good. And maybe at some point we should cover that. We should rewatch Gurren Lagann at some point as well. I really loved that show. And also Attack on Titan was good. I would recommend you to watch it, Colin.
Yeah, I watched the first season, and then because like all those massive breaks, and now I got back to it, and now I need to watch the first season again. Because all I remember is they go into the forest, they kind of get whole masculine thing, and then it finds out that what's his name can turn into Titan, and then there's actually another person that can turn into Titan, which is his friend.
Well, they're in the forest. They have not like that's where I'm at watching it with my wife at the moment. Is they have just captured the other special Titan.
Yeah. The other special Titan.
Yep. Which is the female Titan.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's good. It's good stuff. It is genuinely one of the only animes to like properly like bring a tear to my eye in certain places. Like it is horrifically sad in some cases.
Oh, man. What?
It's really sad.
What was it? What ones are really sad that bring tears to my eyes all the time? Nope, no. I have no emotions.
No, I'm an emotional wreck.
No, there is some. There's just I don't know. Can't think of any off the top of my head.
Watching Suzume with my kids was particularly emotional because they got really invested in it.
I mean, that's emotional in a different reason.
Is it like a really emotional film generally?
Yeah.
I
think I had tears in the eyes for that. Wolf Children. Need to watch that.
I still haven't watched it. Are we not watching that?
We're going to watch it. That's our bonus episode this year.
Well, we should stop talking because I think we've kind of gone on for about 25 minutes talking about other things. My fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've made it to an end of another episode of Who's That Anime, a podcast about anime, which can be found where all good podcasts can be found. Mm-hmm. Our home is at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. We don't really make any money from this. There's no advertising or anything like that. But if you like what we do, then leaving a review in your podcatching software of choice can be really helpful. If you've already left a review or can't, depending on how you're using things, telling a friend is also like a really useful way to share and help us grow. We have a Facebook page, that's facebook.com/who's that anime, where you can find the new episode releases and the occasional anime meme. We have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the show notes. We also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/youtube.com, and if you search for @who's that anime, Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of these episodes. We also occasionally like to play video games. Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. You can find archives of all of the bits and pieces we've done on those channels over the years by going to youtube.com and searching for @couchfuel or at hailpayman. Flubbed it several times, but I think we got there in the end up.
Yeah, we did. That's it. So let's finish this up by going, we'll catch you next week. Same anime place, same anime time, same anime. Same anime.
Yes.
Anime.
There's got to be more than one of them. There's got to be more than one of them.
Oh.
It's got to be more than one of them.
Hang on. There was a bit where the chief detective was doing the nursery rhyme at some point. I can't remember what was that when he was in the game episode?
I think it was in the game episode.
Yeah.
That was last episode now, Colin. Like, we're remembering, like, this was time ago.
This is last week. Secrets.
Yeah.
Anyway. Bye, people.
Bye, folks.
Bye.